Isn't it beautiful? YouTube, what is up? Today I will be showing you guys what I think is the best class setup for the Hunter for both PVE or Vanguard and also PvP or Crucible. To begin, I just want to say that your armor, it is mostly going to affect you in PvE. Now, your armor in the Crucible isn't really affected by your actual armor. It's actually affected by your armor stat rating, recovery, and agility. That's what's going to go in for Crucible instead of your actual armor, as well as with your weapons. Every weapon is going to be balanced out. So even though this weapon says it does 215 attack, and this one does 224, in Crucible they will both do the same amount of damage. All that really comes down to in Crucible is the rate of fire, range, stability, and reload. Alright, so to begin with the PvE, the Vanguard type stuff, the campaign stuff, the story, your armor is really going to come all down to you, whatever you can get. I mean, try to get, obviously legendary armor or exotic is the best you could have, but you can only have one piece of exotic armor, so you have to choose wisely which exotic piece you would like. So I have one helmet, and I'm also working on getting a weapon right now. You can only have one weapon and one piece of armor. Now, what I like to focus on for my hunter, or PvE wise, is, well actually I guess both PvE and PvP, is the intellect and discipline. Intellect reduces the cooldown of your golden gun or blade, and discipline reduces the cooldown of your grenades. So I don't really use my throwing knife that often, and for the Bladedancer class, I don't really use my my little blink thing, the extra knife, as often as probably a lot of other people do. So what I like to go for is I like to go for intellect and discipline. Now, these two, you definitely want to go into your, bring up your subclass, and what I like to do is I like to go with the second grenade. It's great both for PvP and PvE. I prefer it over both the other grenades in the Gunslinger class. This one being a trip mine, it doesn't really work that well for PvP. PvE, it's pretty cool. Incendiary, it's average on both, but this is definitely the best, the swarm grenade for the Gunslinger subclass. For my jump, I like better control jump, so that way whenever I'm jumping to the air, I can jump in two different directions and it throws people off. I like to cause people to explode when I shoot them with my golden gun, because it does damage to nearby enemies, and sometimes you can get double kills, triple kills easily. Throwing knife catches enemies on fire, so if I ever do use my throwing knife, it'll do a little bit of extra damage because it'll light them on fire, and so it's normally like one burst with my pulse rifle to the body in order to kill them. For this perk, excuse me, training focused on battle recovery and speed. Now, I didn't have my armor very high on this class because I kind of like my Gunslinger class to be able to move around really fast, recover really fast. If I know I'm not going to win a gunfight, I can dip out quickly. So the armor really isn't that much of a factor. I did increase it a little bit so that way I don't just die in 2 bullets. But next, moving on, keyhole. Golden gun over penetrates. Now this is like if you were to get a collateral with the golden gun, it would penetrate 2 people and it would insta-kill them both. So that's just fantastic. It's really great. The way of the Drifter, training focus on all attributes. Got to give a little bit of love to all 3 of these here. Now the last one increases the range of golden gun. Not really sure exactly how much farther the range goes, but I mean I've cross-mapped people with the golden gun before, so I mean I guess it's working. And I don't really use my throwing knife that much, that's why I don't use that. So that's for the Gunslinger subclass. Now, for the Bladedancer, if you would like to go with this way, with the sword, I would suggest the Arc Bolt grenade, because you throw it on the ground, it's great for PvE and PvP. You throw it on the ground, anyone in the radius, it shocks them, doing a massive amount of damage. The Skip grenade is also pretty decent. But I just feel like this one is definitely better for both situations. I also like to go with better control for this class as well, for the same reasons. Showstopper, this is not what I really like. I would actually like to get this to disappear while I'm using my arc blade attack, because that would just be OP, so you definitely want to get that. I'm not quite there yet. The last one, Escape Artist, hitting an enemy with Blink Strike grants brief invisibility. Now, I've done this online where I've hit people when I'm maybe about like 1 burst or a couple bullets from dying, and then I've gone invisible and I've just kind of hid, and it throws people off. I really don't think that the blink strike is that important, so I don't really need that. And hitting an enemy from behind, I don't really hit people from behind very often. I'll normally just like throw a grenade at them and then shoot them. So this one definitely feels like the best one for me. For my stats on my Bladedancer class, I did do the armor a little bit higher, which is right here, training focus on toughness and speed. Because whenever you use your Bladedancer class, if you whip out your blade, you have to run at people. So if you have like no health, no armor, you're gonna get destroyed. So I had to upgrade my health a little bit, and I put my agility extremely high, so that way I can run really fast at people and they can't escape. Recovery, and I upgraded it a little bit. Quick draw, weapons are ready immediately. Now I run around, I run and gun, so this helps me out a lot. This might help you out a lot too. It's whichever one really feels best for you. Wave the Drifter, training focus on all attributes. Have that on just to balance out my stats a little bit, get recovery up a little bit. The last one, I will be using the Hungering Blade once I unlock it, because that's just overpowered. If you use Arc Blade or Blink Strike and you're just running around knifing people and you're recovering health at the same time, that's going to be completely ridiculous. So I'm definitely going to use that. For PvP, this is the exact same setup I would go with for both of them. The only thing that I would suggest is, for Crucible, I definitely use the Stranger's Rifle, because I think that pulse rifles are really great, especially this one. It has barely any recoil. It's like 2 or 3 bursts to the head on Crucible, and in the PVE or Vanguard story mode stuff, it also is a beast. I have this one as my backup just in case I need a little bit more damage, but this one mostly gets the job done fully upgraded, even though it's only level 16 and this one is level 20. So also, in the next update, they will be making the pulse rifles better, and the assault rifles, or auto rifles, excuse me, they will be making those a little bit worse. So I definitely think you should go with the pulse rifle, and this one, everyone gets this one at the end of the game. So definitely beat the game, beat the story, and get this gun. It is a beast on Crucible and in PvE. Now, for PvE and PvP, I use a sniper rifle because, I mean, I'm just a beast with a sniper. I'll just pick people off for days. But it's also great for bosses too. You can just kind of sit back and not get near them and just headshot them or wherever their critical spot is. It does tons of damage. For the last one, I use rockets because online on Crucible, it's just one rocket and done if you're accurate with them. So it's really, I mean, the machine gun's decent, but I definitely like my rockets. It's like a guaranteed 2 or 3 kills. So definitely go with that. And for bosses, like it's just such an easy way to hit bosses too. If you're fighting a big guy and you don't really have time to peek out and aim, you can just kind of peek out for a second, shoot, and just take cover. Also, if you're wondering about how the ranks work, once you hit level 20, you get armor that gives you a stat like discipline, intellect, and strength that's called light. As you can see, this one gives me plus 21 light. Now what that does is it gives you your guy, I don't know exactly what the whole story behind it is, but it gives your guy I guess light power. So it actually just levels them up from there. So like this one gives me plus 21, plus 22, plus 22, plus 14. So all of your armor stats are going to give you light, which as you can see ranks me from a 20 to a 26. It's a little cool tip there from Gandalf. Alright guys, if that video helped you, please drop a like. If you would like to see me make another video on one of these, leave it in the comments of which class you'd like me to do, as well as subscribe for more Destiny content, and the upcoming month, Master Chief Collection content, and eventually, long time from now, Star Wars Battlefront 3 content. That being said, later.